Before you can consider asking for a promotion, a number of things must happen. You need to stand out in your current position, and you must build a case for a promotion. We'll discuss both of these in this episode.
Hi, I'm Rick Kendall.
And I'm Fred Ball.
Welcome to Management Mastery. The purpose of these podcasts is to share what each of us has learned about good and bad management in our combined over 40 years of experience, both as managers and executive coaches. During that time, we've coached managers at every level in companies from Fortune 100s to brand new startups in all major businesses, including nonprofits, government, and education. So whether you're just starting in your first management position or are an experienced manager looking to strengthen your management skills, we know our podcast will be valuable to you.
In order to stand out in your current position, you must have mastered all aspects of your present role and be producing at a high level. Be a solid member of your team who can be counted on to be helpful and supportive of team efforts. But I would need to stress, you need to be successful in your present role and producing at a high level.
Oh, absolutely, yes. To get a better understanding of what this means, listen to our episode, How to Stand Out in Your Current Position, from June 23rd.
Standing out means not just performing your job. It also means things like volunteering for assignments that will help your boss to be successful.
All right, so how long do you need to stand out before asking for a promotion? That's an important question. You'll have to do some research to understand the culture of your company for when and how fast promotions are given.
You also need to remember that policies, such as the one that Rick just talked about, are sometimes disrupted and time frames shortened. Say if there's an unexpected change, such as a manager suddenly becomes ill or leaves the company. So be alert to any such management changes that may present an opportunity for you.
Yeah, and networking with colleagues is also a critical step in your preparation. This includes building strong relationships with members of your own team by proving that you can be counted on to successfully perform your role, carry your weight, and be available to help in a crisis.
It also includes building relationships with those up the ladder. Here you should ask your boss for assistance in determining who you should spend time getting to know, people who could help you to become more effective in your job.
Yeah, and this process should also include networking with colleagues in other departments at and above your level. And as you build relationships, you'll learn more about the company goals and direction. And your boss may also help you identify mentors in and even out of the company who can help you to become even more productive in your current role for your boss, as well as provide you with both a listening ear and career advice.
These things that we've been talking about in terms of the networking go back to what Rick has been saying in other episodes when we're talking about having your head up, looking at the company as a whole, understanding how the company works and operates, not just in your own department, but in the company as a whole.
Right, and having people that know you and are familiar with you is always a good thing to be doing. So we've talked about how important networking is, both in terms of getting a job somewhere else, but also building your reputation within your own company.
When you think you're getting close to being ready to ask for a promotion, you need to build your case. You'll need to gather proof of your accomplishments. We've spoken in other episodes about the need to keep a list of your accomplishments. You want to focus on outcomes that have been important to your role, your boss's interests, and to company goals. Be sure to include quantification whenever possible, and this is absolutely critical. If you don't have these things in writing, you will forget them.
Oh, yeah. And, it also helps if you want to move, it helps you to build a resume with examples of all your accomplishments. So it's just a valuable tool to have no matter what you're doing. And you should also have emails and other records of praise you've received from higher ups along the way. And you need to refine your list so that you can share it concisely, but also have the detailed list if it's requested.
The idea of sharing it concisely is so critical. Whenever we coach someone, it's to be concise first and then have the details in case someone wants to have more of the information.
Oh, absolutely. It's always better to be short and punchy and have somebody ask for more information than to drone on and, lose your audience in the process. Yeah, I totally agree.
In terms of alignment with company goals, you want to be able to talk specifically about how your accomplishments helped achieve company goals. In each example, be prepared to talk about what the assignment was meant to achieve, how the assignment played out, what you accomplished, and how your work helped to reach the department or company goal. By having the detail, if asked for, it shows your boss that you are fully aware of what the company is trying to accomplish, and that you are in agreement with the direction, and that you have contributed toward company success.
Yeah, and your preparation should also include understanding your financial worth by doing some salary research. Research the typical salary ranges for the role you seek through online guides such as Glassdoor or PayScale or others. And also, as much as possible, and sometimes it's not, investigate salaries in your company for the position you want. You may get help from a mentor or from someone else who currently holds a position about the level that you're looking at.
As a result of your research, you want to have an answer if the boss asks, what were you thinking of in terms of compensation for the position? You can see how it would be helpful if you have done research on that. But try if possible to avoid being the first one to name a salary. If you can, turn the question around and ask what the current salary range is for the position. If you must give a number, be sure to give a range so you don't lock yourself in. Also remember, once you've received the promotion, you can still negotiate salary.
Right. And you'll also need to anticipate objections that your boss or other interviewers might raise. And do this by putting yourself in the boss's position and try to brainstorm why they might be hesitant to promote you. Some might be easy, like you've only been in your position for 2 years, and you can answer such a concern by referring to experience or training you had before joining the company or related outside activities. But the important thing is to anticipate the question and have a response ready.
Or you may be asked, you haven't had much time leading a group, to which you might respond again about a leadership roles you have held outside the company, either in previous jobs or in school or as a volunteer. But also keep in mind, there may be also leadership roles when you were volunteering to run a committee within the company.
Right. In other words, you want to try to anticipate challenges your boss might throw at you about what could be your weaknesses regarding the promotion you want. The important thing, as I said, is to be ready for them. In some cases, you may have to acknowledge the weaknesses, but try to have a reasonable plan for how you can overcome them. And also remember, nobody is perfect. What's important is that you show you're aware of where your weaknesses are in terms of the position you want and have a plan for addressing them.
At one point in my career, I was interested in a position that required skill and negotiation. I didn't have too much in that area, so what I did on my own time, taking vacation time to do it, is I went to 2 conferences to better prepare me to be a negotiator.
Well, yeah, you have to do that sort of thing, yes. So it really requires being honest with yourself.
Yeah. Along these lines, it is also critical that you rehearse your promotion pitch. Some people may tell you that since you've been preparing for a possible promotion, you've been doing your practice along the way, and there's nothing more you can do, you need to do. That's too simplistic an approach, and will most likely cause you trouble in an interview when you can't remember an important assignment you had or specific details for an important achievement.
Right, and by practicing, we're talking about saying out loud what you plan to say, especially the key points. And don't forget those questions you were asked when you were first hired, like, how are you unique? And what are the 2 or 3 major competencies that'll help you be successful if you're promoted? And if possible, try to do a mock session with a close colleague, friend, or family member, one who can be honest with any relevant criticism, and ideally, who knows your boss well enough to know what they might ask.
That's a really important point. I mean, just so often in a situation like this, people will say, well, I really know this stuff. I don't need to practice anymore. And just as Rick was saying, you do need to practice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's like doing a job interview, except I think one of the things that kind of inappropriately relaxes people is you already know the people involved. You know who your boss is. You know something about them. It's not like you're going in cold for a job interview. But that doesn't mean they can't surprise you. So yeah, you really have to prepare this way.
In summary, we reminded you that before you can consider asking for a promotion, a number of things must happen. Most importantly, you need to stand out in your current position by producing at a high level, being helpful of your boss's initiatives and supportive of team efforts, and willing to take on additional assignments for growth. Then you must build a case for your promotion and rehearse dealing with possible reservations from your boss.
We hope you have found this podcast useful and will come back again for more Management Mastery. If you have any comments about this or any of our episodes, or would like to find out more about our other services, including one-on-one coaching and group seminars for managers, visit our website at careercoachclass.com. Thanks for listening.